Good morning. My name is Silvia Rosenthal Tolisano, and I wear many hats. I started out as a world language teacher, and then became a computer teacher, and a technology integration facilitator, a technology coach, and then a teaching and learning facilitator and coordinator. So if you're wondering about my accent, there's a hint of German, well, probably the majority of it is, I was born in Germany, and I grew up in Argentina, then lived a long time here in the US, and recently I was a year abroad teaching at a school in São Paulo, and I'm back in the United States now. I want to talk to you today about one of my passions, which is globally connected learning. And from my experience as a world language teacher, it was about 10 years ago. I was looking at how languages were taught and how teachers were trying to bring the culture and opening up the walls to the classroom to their students, to be able to see that there's a whole world out there, different cultures, different countries, and that is very hard sometimes in a country where the majority of the students do not have a passport and most likely will not be traveling in their lifetime. So at that point I was looking, and I was looking around to see what were schools and other teachers doing, because I was fighting a really lonely fight. And what I saw was the majority were schools that were having once a year an international day where students brought in food. They dressed up in the traditional outfits of their heritage countries, and they sang songs. And I thought to myself, this cannot be it. This cannot be all. And I started. That was at the onset during the time when Web 2.0 was starting to emerge, and tools were suddenly at my disposal where I could not only have my students once a year have an exposure or make them aware of different cultures and countries, but to really connect with other educators and do global projects, connect with them so my students could sing a song with them in Spanish, or to talk to children who live in Costa Rica for them to explain to them how life was like in a different country. So where I am now, 10 years later, is I'm trying to take another step from global awareness of isolated international days to projects which have a beginning and have an end. I'm trying to move to another level where it's not an isolated project, but that global literacy is going to be achieved with global pedagogy. And when I say pedagogy, I mean the techniques, the approaches, the methods teachers use to facilitate learning with their students. So there's a difference between participating in a one-time project or a week-long, one month-long project, and to think globally as you're teaching, to have a global mindset. And I was very fortunate to be able to contribute to a book by Heidi Hayes Jacobs in her new series of new literacies, in the book of Global Literacies. I'm outlining several steps of how do we become global educators, globally minded educators. It starts with global awareness and continues of making a commitment to being globally connected. It continues on with making sure you're building capacity of using specific tools that aid that global connectedness, the ability to collaborate with others around the world. Moving on from the skill set of knowing how to use the tools, we should teachers should be able to start building a learning network that spans the globe. For whatever reason, for perspective, for bringing in experts, and to have collaboration partners. Once you have the network, it is about amplifying the curriculum. And when I say amplifying the curriculum is to have an audience, for your students to have an audience of one, which is you, the teacher, to be able to connect your students to a global audience, to make it larger, to go beyond the classroom walls. And then as you are doing this, as it becomes the way you teach, through the methods of how you teach, you are developing fluency in this, which I like to compare to learning a language. It is hard at the beginning. You're learning vocabulary, you're learning grammar, and you're stuttering when you're trying to speak and trying to communicate. But as you become used to this, and as you're becoming fluent in this, that's when it seems easy, and it just flows. So take a look at your classroom. Take a look at how you are bringing the world to your students. Are those just awareness moments, isolated projects, or are you becoming a globally minded educator?